Hello. Today we're going to be going over the top sales conversion barriers and how to address each one. So welcome. If you are a high ticket service provider or you're looking to become a high ticket service provider, and you're in the right place. Maybe you're tired of spinning your wheels, working tirelessly to provide your premium services, only to repeatedly encounter those common sales resistances. If that's you, pay attention. Okay. I hear you and I understand your frustration. But guess what? There's a solution. And I'm here to share it with you in today's discussion. You see, those objections often arise from genuine concerns or uncertainties that prospects have about your service. But I'm here to tell you today that these can be overcome with the right strategies and techniques. So let's dive right in. The first one let's talk about is the lack of clarity in the value proposition. So if prospects don't clearly understand the unique value and benefits of your service or what it offers, they're more likely to raise objections about it. Okay. So understand that confused prospects may feel uncertainty about the value of your offer, and that can result in hesitations related to the cost or maybe the fit or the necessity. So a vague message will also make it difficult for your service to stand out in the competitive market, right? Where there's tons of competition out there. So since your target audience can't differentiate you from the rest of the market, they'll also not appreciate why you're selling at such a high price point as well. Worse, your ideal client may not even get the chance to see or hear you because your messaging is too vague or general. And so you end up with an audience that's not really a fit for what you're offering, your services in the first place. And this leads to wasted marketing budgets, lower conversion rates, and ultimately more objections because your prospects really remain unconvinced of your service's worth. And when you have an unclear message, it erodes the confidence of your prospects as well. It kind of takes away your credibility as an expert. So you got to be super clear on your messaging because it becomes extra challenging to establish yourself as an expert, and objections on your trustworthiness may arise. Okay. So to address this, you should clearly identify what sets your service apart from the competition, from the competitors. What specific problems do you solve? And what benefits do your clients gain? Make sure you use really plain language, avoid jargon, and speak directly to their pain points and their aspirations, okay, of your ideal clients, not just anyone and everyone, your ideal people who you ideally want to work with. You have to be super clear in your messaging. You can also use case studies and testimonials if you have any to illustrate past successes. I talked about that last week, and just give your prospects a really a clear picture of how you help your clients. Does that make sense? So, you know, um, you got to use specific words. You got to use like really clear language when you're talking about your message. And I'm going to go into that a little bit deeper. So let's discuss the next conversion barrier before we go into that. Okay. Which has to do with inadequate objection handling skills. Okay. Some service providers may not know how to handle objections effectively, and this leads to so many missed opportunities. This is a common challenge for those looking to scale, okay, their high ticket business. The immediate consequence of inadequate objection handling is, of course, the loss of potential sales, right? Obviously, prospects may become discouraged or unconvinced, so they just abandon the process altogether. So this is why it's very important to be properly trained in this area. A great closer is an asset to any service-based business. So maybe when you're first starting out, you have to do it yourself, and you should do it yourself. Actually, you really need to understand how to do it. So then if you don't like to do it, you can train somebody or you can follow up on them to make sure that they're doing it properly. They're always going to need feedback. They're always going to need to get better, and nobody knows your offer what you offer and how you get the results for your clients better than you. So it's better to actually do the sales yourself before hiring a closer, if you're ever going to do that, and master it. Really master enrolling people into what you have to offer before you go out and outsource it to somebody else. Because again, you got to give them that feedback. You got to review their calls and see how they're interacting and what they're saying and stuff on the calls. And if you don't know how to do the objection handling, they're probably you're just not going to be able to give them that feedback. Does that make sense? Or what to look for even in the first place and delegate in the first place, right? So anyway, adequate training should cover the common objections, effective responses, and role-playing exercises, all that kind of stuff to practice the objection handling scenarios, but do it yourself first. And then developing an objection handling script or guidelines that provide a structured approach to addressing the objections. Okay. And these should be uncovered early on in the call, not waiting until the very end. You need to address them and handle them along the way, not just wait till the end and then they're like, oh no, I don't want to do it, right? Because there's the three top common objections are, I need to think about it, I don't have the money, or I need to talk to my partner or spouse or whatever. Those are the three top ones, right? So there's ways of handling those objections and having the guidelines and having maybe scripts, right? These scripts that can encourage active listening and empathetic responses instead of, being on the whim or whatever. And of course, feedback and continuous improvement will help in order to identify reoccurring objections and refine objection handling strategies accordingly. Make sense? So it's a good idea to maintain a list of the common objections that you encounter in your business over and over again. So then you can prepare to properly address them. And you can do it all the way along the process. So instead of just waiting until somebody gets on a call with you or calls you up to hire you, and then that you can handle those objections along the way with your marketing and with your systems that you have in place, so that by the time they get to you, most of the objections have been handled anyway. Okay, and remember to invest in these skills. This is like a major skill that is required, especially when doing a higher ticket or if you have a premium offer that you're offering. Okay, so remember to invest in these skills because it could spell the difference between a valuable client or a lost opportunity. So we've talked about lack of clarity in your value proposition and having inadequate objection handling skills. Third on our list of conversion barriers is having poor quality leads. So the issue here is targeting the wrong audience or failing to qualify the leads properly. This can result in objections because the prospect may just not be a good fit for what you're offering for your service, right? You may end up speaking to people who really lack the readiness and the willingness to make a purchase in that moment too. It might be too soon for them. They might not, really be needing what you have to offer bad enough. You know what I mean? That where they're just like, oh, wait, or oh, I've got a vacation coming up, or they can have like all those can be objections too, right? They might not have the time to even do what you need them to do in order to get them the result, that type of thing, right? So again, having these guidelines, having these things strategically handled up first. So by the time, did I say up first? Handling them up front, I meant up front before they even talk to you, right? It just saves so much time and it just qualifies everybody so that by the time they show up, they're a great fit, they're ready to buy, because pursuing them consumes valuable time and money too. That could be better spent on prospects who are more likely to convert. Okay, so this can also lead to frustration and demotivation on the part of whoever is closing those deals, whether it's you or somebody else, right? And when you pursue those that aren't genuinely interested or in need of your particular service, it can result in a negative customer experience and negative overall perception of your business too. Having poor qualified leads can often result from inaccurate targeting or the lack of proper qualification, like I said before, right? So to address this, your business needs to have a clearly outlined characteristic of your ideal client. Who is that avatar? Okay. That should include at least the demographics, at least all their pain points and needs, but also their psychology. as a business coach, I teach my clients how to optimize their marketing strategies and refine their messaging by going really deep to uncover exact words that they need to be using in their copy, in their copywriting, so that they can reach their ideal audience. Okay. It has to resonate deeply with the right people, or it just doesn't work. Okay. There's so many marketing automation tools out there. And it's just a matter of identifying what works best for your particular business needs. But if you don't go deep enough on that, none of these things matter. I see a lot of people using Chat GPT and stuff, to do all their copy or whatever. But unless you know how to do this yourself first, it's great to use that Chat GPT, the AI technology, um, when you have winning copy. And by winning copy, I mean it's getting the right quality prospects, the right quality leads to you when you do a post or an ad, for example. And if that one's working, great. But you need to be able to identify exactly what to say. There's a formula to it in particular. And then again, those specific words that are going to resonate deeply with your ideal client who's ready to buy. Once that's getting the right people like that to you, then you can use the AI technology to just maybe reformulate it and use it over and over again that way, right? That works fine. But they also make it very jargony, I noticed too. So I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's quite there yet. A lot of people think that they can just do it without knowing, and that's going to do it for them. But nobody knows your avatar, your ideal client better than you. Anyway, those automation tools, they help filter out those who may not be a good fit for you before they reach the sales stage. Okay. So of course, you can never underestimate the power of a well-prepared valuable free offer. Okay. I call it a VFO, valuable free offer. And this isn't just like a freebie that you give or like a small clip of what you offer or, a free sample of something. It's not that. Okay. A valuable free offer. It's could be like a webinar. It could be an ebook. It could be a white paper. It could be something like that. But in there, your audience gets a feel of who you are and what kind of service you're offering exactly. Okay. It should position you as the go-to against the competition. And again, use those specific words that resonate deeply to get them to take action to ultimately buy. That way, they already know from the start if we're working with you is what they want or not. And by addressing the issues of poorly qualified leads, you can ensure that you stay focused on your prospects who have a high likelihood to be converted to paying clients. Make sense? Finally, let's look into the last barrier, which is an ineffective sales process. So an unclear or inefficient sales process can lead to objections. Okay. Every time, like I said. So as potential clients may feel overwhelmed or maybe pushed too quickly, or it might come across as too salesy or something like that, cheesy and sleazy, salesy. I mean, we've all been through there, and nobody likes that. So again, how do you have a sales process that isn't like that, right? It's authentic, it's genuine, it's having a conversation, but again, there's strategy behind it, right? Like with this, I mean, there's a series of steps and strategies that you or your team follows to convert leads into paying clients. When this is not streamlined, it can cause prospects to drop out at any various stage, resulting again in missed opportunities for the conversion. So inefficiencies also require more time, effort, and resources to close those deals, which can lead to a higher cost per client. Okay, so address this immediately by again mapping it out and documenting your current sales process, and then clearly define each stage, the goals of each stage, and the actions or strategies required to move that prospect from one stage to the next. Okay, there's a strategy to it. There's a process to it. Recognize that different leads also may require different approaches. Okay, you can segment your process based on factors like maybe like actions they've taken already, right? Different pain points, I usually do it by the actions that they've taken or where they're at in the process type of thing. That way you can better tailor it to where they're at and what they need and who they are as well, right? In your list, in your email list. okay, when you're doing all that kind of stuff. And again, I teach my clients how to do this. How do you segment? What kind of things do you send this segment? What kind of things do you send this segment? Right? There's different, again, it's all the strategy, and it all revolves around your ideal client, really. So invest also in technologies such as customer relationship management software, the CRMs, to streamline and automate these repetitive tasks. Um, there's so many out there. I've tested quite a few of them. And what I do is I have my clients take a quiz based on their budget, based on where they're at currently, and based on what they want to create in the future. We can recommend which CRMs are best for what they do and what they offer and where they want to take their business in the end, right? So again, it depends on a lot of things. This is something that we work up to over a course of 8 weeks. And, by week 7 or 8, we know which software they would need to use based on like I said, their budget, their where they're currently at, and what they want to create in their their overall arching vision of their business. But it's really important to automate these repetitive tasks, and so you can save time. Otherwise, you're just going to be ripping your hair out and exhausted and overwhelmed, working like crazy. I mean, you can't be sending out individual emails all the time. You gotta, and then also you gotta know where your clients are in the pipeline, what they've already received and what they've already done and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot that goes into it, right? But anyway, track the leads through the sales funnel, and then you can provide data-driven insights, to where they are. So as you do this, you can enhance your ability to convert those leads into paying clients more, right? Improve customer satisfaction and achieve sustainable growth and scaling your high ticket online business. So to recap, we've talked about top conversion barriers and how to address each one. Lack of clarity in the value proposition. To address this, you should clearly identify what sets your service apart from competitors. Okay. Inadequate sales objection handling skills is number 2. So, just make sure that you've got adequate training that covers common objections and effective responses when they arise, and role-playing exercise to practice objection handling scenarios for yourself or whoever is doing the sales for you. And poor qualified leads is number 3. To address this, your business needs to have a clearly outlined characteristics of your ideal client. It's getting so deep into the psychology. And then also the ineffective sales process. Map it out and document your current sales process so that then you can clearly define each stage, the goals of each stage, and the actions or strategies that are required to move those prospects from one stage to the next, all the way into a sale. Okay. If you want to learn more about how to streamline your process so that the right people will find you, call you, and pay you consistently for your premium service, just type in process below, and I or someone from my team will get back to you ASAP. I hope this has been helpful. I am here every Thursday at 3 p.m. unless I am sick, unless I am traveling. If you're here with me live, you can put hashtag live in the comments. If you're here with me watching the replay, you can put hashtag replay in the comments. And also feel free to ask any questions about your business, your biggest challenges. If you've got a challenge going on in your business right now, you can put it here in the comments and at any point, and I'll see it and get back to you with the answers. I've been doing helping business owners to success for over 20 years, since 1996. So I've seen it all, you guys. I can answer pretty much any question about anything related to business, any challenges you guys have. Just post it in the comments and I would be happy to get back to you. So, and if you like this, if you're here with me on YouTube, you could like and subscribe to my channel here. I'm again, every Thursday, I'm doing a live with valuable information on how to grow and scale your service-based business to, whether it's 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 100,000 a month or more. We've got the processes and the strategies to show you how. All right. So that's it for this week. Take care, everyone. Have a good week, and I will see you next time.